man, I could never tell you. I ain't rolling with no fucking tools, but we come and drill you. 2 styrofoam cups up, we gon' come and get in a stupid watch. Yeah, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, 1 biscuit and a stupid watch. I got a bad bitch, yeah, she got a stupid box. Stupid die, you ain't getting shit from me, baby, stop. Diamond rings, pearly thing, you must think I'm stupid, huh? We ain't stupid now, well educated. Filet o fish, niggas never seen the fish scale. They always talking shit, nigga, I just wish you well. Niggas want the drugs, give them quarter flip to wish you well. Yeah, I pulled up, silly, I pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, 1 biscuit and a stupid watch. For really, yeah, for really, yeah, I get much and plenty. Most your niggas still in the well, wishing for a penny. Hard away and proud, nigga, choose now. When the biscuit up to your head, you better speak loud. Cause all my niggas ruthless, some of them niggas toothless. They ain't got nothing to live for, they shoot shit. And we talking about the beat, pull up to the roof, Chris. I'ma have you served well done on a toothpick. Spin around your block like a motherfucking fire spit. And nigga, we ain't camping, nah man, this shit intense. Heard you talking shit on the block, but what's your intent? To the chicken spot, got a 6-piece, 1 biscuit and a stupid watch. Bitch.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Cypher. We're back for episode number 31. We are fresh off our latest competition episode. It was a dope episode with so many awesome submissions, and as always, I'm here with Anthony and Sheridan. We got a really dope episode planned for today as well. How you guys doing?
Man, I'm doing very well, and it's always dope to start off with Chicken Spot, but it slaps even a little bit better when we have the man himself right here, you feel me? So I'm having a good day. Started it off with a little bit of bullshit, but we here now about to talk some hip-hop. Well, how y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, for the first time in a while, I can say I'm in albums mode. I say that plural because it's more than one. I'm working on a couple different projects nonstop. I've been in the studio with Ryan all day the last 2 days. I've been working a lot with Jake Daniels. I got a session with D Brown coming early November. A lot of stuff's coming together right now, and it feels good. I'm gonna have a crazy 2021 lined up, and also, I mean, it's Process's birthday, so happy birthday to Process. It's been crazy. It's been crazy out here. We're all coming together. That's what it is. It's not just me. Like, everybody's coming together right now, and it's gonna be a crazy time for Upstate.
Oh nah, every day that goes by, every update I get from a different artist, you can tell something's brewing, bro. This past 6-7 months, as we talked about it when the show first started, this was gonna be a time for a lot of artists to either sink or swim, and a lot of artists are swimming across the English Channel right now, with no stress at all, floating crazy. So it's beautiful to see. How you doing?
That's a fact. I'm glad to see Sheridan busy working. I've been good. I've been busy, really busy week. But like you guys said, it's dope to see all of Upstate come together. It's dope to see Sheridan really get into that albums mode that he's talking about. I'm excited to hear that. But one thing I'm really excited about is the guest that we have for today's episode. We have Process lined up for today's episode ahead of his project on his birthday. Yo, Process, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm chilling. How's everybody doing today? Yeah.
Happy birthday, Process.
Happy birthday, brother.
On the show.
I appreciate it, man. It's great to be here, honestly. Really, it's been a low key a dream of mine. You know, come up on the podcast, see how everybody's doing.
If it was a dream, we probably could have had you up here earlier.
You've been a mainstay without even knowing it necessarily. You've been the leader, the main song we've been playing for months now. So you've been on it. You've been here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're very excited to have you. One thing that we've started doing the last couple of weeks is just talking about what we're streaming lately. So, Process, what have you been streaming lately? TV, movies, music, anything different? What have you been checking out?
Listen, right now you can tell that Sheridan's going crazy because she put me onto this show called The Outsider. It's fucking nuts. Really, it's the craziest shit I've ever seen, I swear to God. Listen, y'all got that HBO Max subscription. Sheridan
About to say.
Never lied about a show. If he trying to put you onto something, it's fire. Trust. But I will say Sheridan Raised by Wolves is weird as fuck. It's weird as fuck, bro.
Put me on the Tattletales one time, and it was not fun.
I did not try to push you. Okay.
You gotta listen.
All right, Frank Leon.
All right, bro. Frank Leon's fire. All right, but guess what? You trying to say you put me on the Frank Leon? Yo, pops put you on the Frank Leon.
My streaming doesn't really change too much. I watched a bunch of horror movies the past week, actually.
As you should.
'Tis the season, you know.
Just the season, right? I watched this grow. They turn a dude into a walrus, and it was absolutely amazing. Not amazing. I meant like mind fucking. It was not amazing.
I was about to say this dude is not about to call this walrus movie.
Any means. I watched 3 horror movies in one night. Tusk was the first one, and it was a good movie, but it was the worst of the 3 that I ended up watching. Or on his websites to streaming services.
Payne.
It's been really good just to go back and listen to some RJ Payne. Bumped a bunch of Stove God. To be honest, no cocky shit. I probably bumped my own music more than anybody else's, but just listening to it, trying to figure out what's going on, you feel me? Freddie Gibbs, also, just so I can hear his choruses. Like from King to a God, West Side's last project, Benny's last shit, you know.
Finished Blind Manor, and now I actually watched it out of order. I watched Blind Manor and I hadn't watched Hill House, so now I'm watching Hill House.
That's not out of order. They're not connected.
Yeah, nah, it's just like out of the order that they came out in.
If you the Hill House is nuts, bro.
I really liked Blind Manor, but I can already tell just from like the atmosphere that I'm gonna like Hill House more, if that makes sense.
There's no question. Like, but Blind Manor is still really dope.
Yeah, Blind Manor was dope, but Hill House just has that vibe to it. You know when you watch a show and it starts and you're like, this is one of those. Like, yeah. And that's how I feel with Hill House right now. I'm also watching Hunter x Hunter for like the 4th time. I just restarted it.
This man is a weed.
Right?
Yeah. As for music, I actually am kind of in the same boat as Anthony, where I've really just been listening to my music. I've been making so much music lately. Like I said, I'm in album mode. But I have been listening to a lot of the submissions that are out now, like on streaming services, for the competition episode. I've been listening to the new Ty Dolla $ign album, which is fire. Oh, yeah. So fire. Me and Ryan were bumping that last night. There's really, it's got a ridiculous amount of songs on it. 25. And there are very few misses.
It runs at an hour, too.
Yeah.
It's an easy listen.
It's a very easy listen, and I recommend it.
Bangers.
Yeah, it's a lot of bangers, but it's also a lot of vibes, too. Like, the Kalani song goes crazy.
I'm going to have to check for that one, just because I haven't... The amount of tracks has really been intimidating for me. Y'all know how I am in terms of, like, long track lists and stuff. Right. But I'm going to check for it, just because I've heard a lot of good stuff about it.
I'll say this, Drew. I went in and I listened to song 1. I was like, damn, this shit long as fuck. It's good, but it's long. Mind you, it went from song 1 to song 5. I didn't even know. I thought it was one track. That's how good this album flowed.
That's crazy.
I'm interested in that because I really like that type of shit too. So.
And the one other thing I wanted to say is I've been streaming Calling by St. Kid a lot. It's probably my favorite St. Kid song.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I've been streaming the new... I haven't been watching a whole lot of TV or movies this week. I had to watch one for class that was really shitty. It was called Drugstore Cowboy from like 1989. And it was supposed to be a classic. Okay, it's a classic, but I'm like a snob. So in watching it back, the acting is just awful, bro. It did not age very well. It was all right. And then in terms of music, I've been listening to the new They album. I did not know anything about They prior to this week. The Amanda tape is fucking dope. I really like that. I've been bumping that pretty much every day. And then besides that, I've been listening to Calling by St. Kid a lot, like Sheridan said. So I've been listening to a lot of local music too. Jet Ski by T Melly and Nazzy. So a lot of them tracks we got from the submission. So.
Darn.
And.
I was fortunate enough to meet Nazzy, and not Nazi. I don't know if y'all know that. I've been calling him Nazi the whole time. Found out it was Nazzy, and bro, just like how we big up Slick Fashions or Ty's freestyle ability and their ability to just create a song like that in the stew, Nazi's another one of those people, bro. He is different. Like I don't know how else to describe it besides that. And Jet Ski was a perfect song. I actually got to speak to them a little bit about that.
Sure.
And they're going to they have some shit that's definitely gonna top Jet Ski. It was they were thinking that they should have dropped it a couple months ago because of the summer and shit, but summer didn't even exist because of COVID.
Yeah.
More people.
It's always summer somewhere, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, more people are out right now than they were 2 or 3 months ago. You feel me? So,
Facts.
That's a fact. And there's a lot of local music that came out this week. Shout out to 607 Sound for the update they do every week. In terms of tracks that came out, we got I Don't Care from Ryan Bronson, Calling, as we already mentioned, by Saint Kid, Looney Tunes from Adon, and Jet Ski from T-Melly and Nazi. And then we got a bunch of videos, Rock With You from O3 Costa and Mosh.
Shout out to O3, bro.
what y'all think about that one?
I liked it.
Listen, bro, that's Elmira, bro. You already know what's up.
Yeah, so you biased.
I support anything out of Elmira. Trash, beautiful, greatness.
So
I don't care.
So where did this fall in?
Oh, that's greatness, bro. That's greatness.
I fucks with
Big
it.
greatness, bro.
I love seeing the link ups like that where 3 or 4 artists get together and it just looks like a big vibe. You feel me? It's really good to see, especially from one whole city. That means that people are like really coming together for some sort of bigger idea. Feel me?
Facts. And then we got the Downright Bougie video from Ty Burst and Hold My Pain from La Reina and Meech Booker. So a lot of interesting videos. And then Eucalyptus, we've played him on the show a couple times. He dropped an album, Into My World, this week. So a ton of stuff coming out locally that is all really, really good. So,
sir, and it was I saw Eucalyptus name on the itinerary, I think, and I was like, yo, that's a beautiful sight. You feel me? I ran into Eucalyptus for the first time in probably 2 years. This week, he just walked by the liquor store. I don't know if you guys saw the huge protest that happened in Ithaca, like a couple hundred people. I was working on the Commons when it was going down, so I was like right next to that shit, and randomly Eucalyptus walks by. I'm like, Nick, no fucking way. Is that you? Are you in town? Like, I don't know. It was just a funny moment.
that's dope. It's good to see, like, just all of the music that's coming out. It's good to see the relationship that I've been able to build, because Eucalyptus isn't someone that I necessarily knew a ton of before, but going into our last competition episode, he sent in a track, and that's sort of where my relationship developed. And then I saw him get the coverage from 607 Sound. That's sort of what put me onto this project coming out. So it's dope the way that the relationships have built and formed across the different blog platforms and all of that, because I think we all sort of help each other in a way. And it's good to see everyone appreciate that rather than start the negatives that could come from that type of situation as well. It's much easier to come together than to go against each other. So
big facts.
Excited about that. And I'm also, like I said, excited we got Process on. We're going to talk about his project Candids in a little bit, but first we got some topics we got to talk about, some of our general stuff. This first topic is an interesting one. According to sources, XXXTentacion's mom, Cleopatra Bernard, has confirmed that there are tracks with The Weeknd and Juice WRLD lined up. What are your thoughts on releasing tracks like this posthumously? We'll start with Process. What do you think about this?
My thinking on posthumous releases is just like, it all depends on whether or not they were recorded before death. You know what I mean? I feel like it loses its energy after that person's. So, from what I know of the situation, Weeknd had recorded some shit with him before he went, and so had Juice WRLD. So maybe we're seeing something that happened before when the energy was right. And if so,
hold up,
I'm expecting something crazy.
Maybe my timeline's all fucked up, but Juice WRLD was like popping before X died.
Yeah. He
crazy.
I think All Girls Are the Same had come out with Lyrical Lemonade by that point, and that was racking up a couple million. And Lucid Dreams.
That's
so they had an opportunity to link up.
Okay.
It would make sense to an extent that X would have had like an early hold on that Juice was sort of starting to blow up and just got a hold of him early. Because I don't think it was like when he blew up into the whole world, because I know there was a point where Juice sort of came out of nowhere, and I feel like it was after X had passed, but I do believe that he easily could have been blowing up and worked with X prior to that, when maybe not everyone was privy to him, just because X was so in with that community and working with Lyrical Lemonade and stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me at all. But the relationship with The Weeknd is a little more surprising to me.
From what I saw,
Bro,
X was an early adopter of a lot of people. Especially, like, he would hit up young artists because he had gone through this whole blowing up thing, and he would tell them to keep going, and he would motivate them.
Exactly. X hit up Joyner Lucas, told him that they were going to get something on a Poppin'. X hit up Hobson, told him that they were going to get something on a Poppin'. You feel me? He embraced people you wouldn't typically expect him to. You feel me? And
he was
X,
like an everyman.
Somebody that, like, totally makes sense. I just didn't realize the timelines overlapped. I guess The Weeknd is a little bit more like, but that doesn't surprise me per se. I hope that they didn't just take some XXX rough vocals and slap them on a current Weeknd song. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
So
that would be a shame.
That's typically what happens. But I would love to see a XXX The Weeknd collab.
Yeah, me too. And this is how I feel personally. Like, I will say right now, like, most of my producers, I trust, like, they know the artists that I like. If I die and The Weeknd wants to get on a song with me, put me on a fucking song with The Weeknd. That's how that's how I feel. But, like, and, like, obviously I'm not as big as X, so it's a totally different, like,
What if it's like super rough?
I know X might feel that way too.
Did you guys see?
No, don't put some garbage together. But
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's where it kind of comes down to, is if it's really rough or not, because that's a big issue with what happens. And
don't rip something out of my voice memos.
Well, that's where I wonder what this is gonna be, because if it was a great song with these artists, don't you think it would have came out already? Like, why would you wait?
No.
Nah. But also,
there's a lot of reasons to wait.
From your, I don't know. I guess.
I have a question. What do you think if XXXTentacion's mom just has, say, 100 X references? Do you think she's wrong to be selling those? If she is,
well, I would say from this viewpoint, he signed a $10 million deal before he passed.
They got to recoup that somehow.
They got to recoup that somehow. And she is a surviving member of his family who has everything from his tries. They got to recoup. And we've seen that happen. We saw Skins. We saw the last album. We know that's what they're doing. You know?
They're not even trying to hide it.
Yeah, but do you think The Weeknd would drop some garbage with X? Like, you think he would allow that?
Bro, what? Every artist, X has had a couple unfortunate songs since his untimely death.
A couple.
Yeah, but I'm talking about features. His posthumous albums, I'm not even counting. I'm talking about the people who decided to put XXX on a song after he died. A lot of them have not been very good.
Yeah.
So would it surprise me if The Weeknd dropped a mediocre XXX collab? No.
What's an example? I just can't think of one. Like, I believe
Lil Wayne featuring XXX on Funeral. Yeah. The Lil Peep and XXX.
The Lil Peep and XXX was poop, but that was like both of them were dead and they threw them both together. The original song, song was a Lil Peep and I Love McConan song, and then they just threw X on it.
No, I'm just saying a couple of the posthumous collabs that people sought XXX for, they sought out after him, not who he put on a record. They haven't been very good.
But it would make sense to what you guys have said, sort of in response to me earlier, that if they're going to give or sell tracks or sell references, it's probably that would be the not best tracks. You know what I mean? In terms of like, if you want to keep the best stuff for when you have a Weeknd feature, for when you have these dope features. If someone wants to buy a feature from you, all right, let's just sell them what we got. Send them a couple different ones to pick from, but none of the good shit.
The Weeknd and XXX, if they drop a collab, it's liable to hit a couple billion streams.
Yeah.
Like, the Weeknd already hits 1 billion on his most streamed song. If you add XXX to that and you add a quality song, especially a posthumous record. I could see that
Okay.
chart for a while, and I could see easily 1 billion streams. Because X still has a crazy loyal fan base, even years after his death, couple years after his death. Did you guys see his mom go live the other day and the backlash she got?
Oh yeah, that shit was whack, man. That was corny as hell.
I wanted to ask your opinion. You think that's whack?
So for you guys who don't know, yeah, Ant, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, essentially, what happened was, one day, a lot of people who followed XXXTentacion had their post notifications on. They got a notification that said XXX went live, and essentially, it was XXX's mom playing music videos from another artist that she's working with. And so people were saying that she's tarnishing X's legacy using his platform to highlight some other garbage and push whatever value she's trying to get out of him, like just making a mockery of XXX's name. And I thought it was an interesting point, or what your guys' idea of this were, because on one hand, it's her son. Nobody else has the rights to use his name more than her. And on the second hand, he's his own person. Should you be using his brand to big somebody else up?
No, I think that's
I
wild.
think it is fucked up, but at the same time, I think that he did some fucked up shit to promote himself in general when he was alive. So to see someone utilizing his platform in the same way, it does disappoint me. It is shitty, but it's like, I mean, you can't do anything about it anyway, but I don't feel a whole lot about it, because at the same time, a lot of his promotion, even before he passed, was doing just shit that was kind of fucked up for his fans in general. Like, I think at one point he pretended to, like, commit suicide or something, like, just shit like that, and then...
Oh, no. Wait, nah, that was... I guess I know what you're talking about, because I thought X might have committed suicide. I was one of those people. I posted on Facebook and asked for opinions and shit. But that was promotion for a music video.
No, and that's what I'm saying, is that he utilized promotion in a controversial way prior to his passing. So in continuing to utilize his platform to promote in a controversial way, it's like, I guess, like he did a lot of shit I didn't like in promoting on his platform too, so whatever. But it is fucked up.
If I died today, I would give, granted, I don't think my mom knows exactly what I like and what I don't in music, what I would want and what I don't, and that's because I've never had that conversation with her. But if I gave it to Kels or my pops, I would trust them. I don't think that they would put some ass nigga on my live to promote if it wasn't important. I don't think they would sell my references if it didn't mean something. But then when you bring in a $10 million deal and a label into the equation, that's when some mediocre bullshit gets sold for the purpose of money. You feel me? So it's a weird conversation. I just wanted to hear what y'all.
Well, and like, I don't know a ton about X in general, but I don't think he had the best relationship with his mom either. Like, did he? So that's where it kind of becomes a weird situation as well.
I think they actually had a very good relationship. It just had its hot, extreme ups and downs.
Right, and she's still young now, right? Like, younger for being. So
she had it when she was like 16
so
or
I mean, it's like, what do you do? You know what I mean? People are gonna judge the situation regardless. But I think it is interesting. It's an interesting topic, and it's one we kind of keep coming upon because of the posthumous albums we keep getting. Obviously, there's features on them and stuff like that. So then,
one more question: what track would you be looking forward to more, The Weeknd and X or Juice WRLD and X?
The Weeknd.
Yeah.
I love The Weeknd, but right now I feel like it's the Juice WRLD. Their energies in general. The fact that Juice WRLD, as soon as X died, he had a song for him.
The reason I say The Weeknd is because, I guess it kind of depends on if Juice had time to work on this prior to his passing, but I feel like The Weeknd would be able to really work with, like, even if it's garbage, maybe not garbage, but whatever the X reference is or whatever that he's working with, he can work with it and make it good. Juice is already passed, so this is just going to be producers working with two different versus they can't really do much with it beyond that. They can make it still sound cohesive. I feel like when one artist is still alive, you can sort of help influence that cohesiveness and make it sound a little bit more legitimate. But it depends on when they were recorded too. So
yeah, that's a fact. Yeah, go ahead.
I trust The Weeknd, like, trust. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing Andrew said, but I trust the Weeknd to not put out a shit song with X. That's one of my biggest reasons. And like R.I.P. But I just wasn't really ever a big Juice WRLD fan, and I am a big Weeknd fan, especially recently. So I just think I don't know. Like I heard the X and Lil Peep collab, and it was garbage. Why wouldn't I don't know. Like I trust Lil Peep's, but I trust and I trust Lil Peep's team more than I trust Juice WRLD's team, I guess. So
I can understand why you feel that way, but I do think that Juice's team hasn't done a bad job, but Juice's sound was also kind of shifting into more of like a rock and roll type direction, kind of pop punk type direction. And not to say that X wouldn't have gone that type of way, but I don't know that the sound that he was creating then really caters to that sound either. So again, it just kind of comes down to when the tracks were recorded and what type of sound they were going for, because I really don't want to hear X on that type of sound now, but I wouldn't mind hearing Juice on X's sound. So
I agree. And I think Juice had actually a very good posthumous album. It just got kind of overshadowed because of how great Pop Smoke's was. You feel me? I think if Pop Smoke's in a drop right before it, then Juice WRLD's would have been better in a lot of people's eyes.
I don't think it got overshadowed. Maybe by people we know, but Juice WRLD's album
it sold more. I'm saying the people that listen to both, a lot of them preferred Pop Smoke's album.
And I think Pop is still charting, and Juice isn't. Well, he's still charting, but it's still like different. So people are going back to Pop's album more than they're going back to Juice's.
I mean, they're also bringing it back out in those little 7 pieces that we were talking about.
Yeah, they're doing it really. Like I said, like Pop Smoke's team is really smart. I would trust Pop Smoke's team more than Juice WRLD's team. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I might agree with you because they handled his death so well.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Our next topic is an interesting one because it kind of relates to the team situation. Eminem was promoting a new project by Alchemist, yet nothing for Westside Gunn's previous project that he just released, who's signed under Shady. Westside actually replied to a comment that was mentioning this. What do you guys think about this situation in general? We've touched about Westside Gunn and Shady Records in the past, but it being brought up and Westside kind of alluding to it again, it's kind of crazy.
So
I've always said that Shady, for some reason, Eminem is just not good at promoting niggas, like, at all.
No.
Like, this has been my stance on it since forever. I just don't think he gives a shit.
Okay. Now, I'm going to have to play devil's advocate right here. One, when I saw this on the agenda, I went to all social medias to check if M really said nothing, and it's not true. He tweeted about Westside's project. And then I went to go check where he promoted Alchemist's project. And you're talking about on Instagram, right?
Yeah, it was Insta.
Yeah, so there was no IG post about Westside's project, which is fucked up. But I don't want the narrative to be he didn't say anything at all, because he did.
Right.
He did promote it a couple times. We all know that signing to Shady is a risky move. But I am very hesitant to put that on.
Bro, there's no way I'm going to let you shoot Eminem bail for only posting about him on Twitter, but not Instagram, bro. He first of all, he has a whole team who could just post all of his artist shit across all of his platforms all the time, because his platform is the biggest one. Like, if you were signed under someone and they have quadruple your platform, 10 times your platform, you're going to want them to share it across every one. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, he got me on Twitter, but not Instagram, the one where all people are generally at. Like,
I 1,000% agree with you. I'm just saying there's a difference between saying he didn't post at all and saying he didn't.
Nah, I feel you. I feel you. I just was mad you fact checked me.
That's
might as well not
post. Look at what the way that Shady dropped the bag with Aftermath Slaughterhouse, I'll never forgive them for. I think we talked about this a while ago, but I think Griselda's just looking for an out. And every time a release happens, you see further and further that clearly something it's not clicking on all full cylinders between the label. I think they really dropped the bag on Boogie too, because I think in 2019 he dropped one of the best albums of the year.
Yeah,
that man was spitting.
it got critical acclaim, but it didn't do numbers. It didn't reach the masses like it should have. So I'm not sure if they just don't have a team that's good at direct to consumer. I don't know if they really just shelve artists. I don't know what the fuck it is. It was sad to see.
I wonder if that's part of the reason that West Side is dropping so much music. You know what I mean? To just get out of this deal. You know what I mean?
Nah. Actually, that might be part of it. But he's also dropped 3 albums a year since 2016.
Okay.
So every year since 2016.
But this is his first album under Shady Records.
Okay, yeah. So
other ones count.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's his debut.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't say that he's dropping this much because of that if this is the first one.
Yeah, no, that's
Can
what
we
I'm saying.
agree on one thing, though? Pray for Paris was better.
Oh, yeah.
It was better.
I think Pray for Paris and Fly God is an Awesome God too are both better albums. But I think they're all good to great albums.
And I think, like, I agree with that, but I think I think it's crazy too that West Side would even sign with Shady, knowing that, like, because history repeats itself, man. The fact that we can see this in the past with Slaughterhouse, and then it happened again here. Like, you do feel for West Side, but at the same time, it's like, man,
Bro,
you know what you're getting into signing with Shady, bro. Like, that's why Process said it at the very beginning. Like, Shady has a reputation for that shit.
Shady.
Son, history
Shady.
itself. But think about this: you're 35. You've been grinding in Buffalo for 15 years, and Eminem takes a flight to Buffalo to chop it up and offers you a record label and offers you a contract. You feel me? Like, you're in Buffalo, New York. Like, there's a difference between that. I can't blame them but I do think that they're gonna do what they can to get out of it. I think West Side Gun is the next, like, Master P. He's the next Diddy. He's the next Jay. He's one of those type of thinkers and brand ambassadors and somebody who pushes the culture forward. So I know that whether he's independent, signed to Shady, or signed to somewhere else, he'll be successful. I have full faith in Griselda.
Facts. Yeah.
Absolutely, and I definitely do think it's more or less a situation where they're just trying to they recognize the situation that they're in. Westside recognizes the situation he's in, and so he's going to point it out until he can get out of it, because they are so much bigger now than they were before they signed to Shady, and that doesn't really have anything to do with Shady.
Yeah, well, I can't say nothing to do with Shady, but they would have been on the same level, if not bigger, on anywhere that they were. Because they are the commodity. You feel me? But I don't think that you can undermine what a label does for you. They're just not doing as much as they can.
Right.
That's a fair
point. I
point.
can see it from that point, yeah.
No doubt. The last topic we got to discuss is an interesting one, for me at least. Kid Cudi announced that he's dropping Man on the Moon 3. I'm just curious what your guys' excitement on this are, and then your thoughts on the previous 2 projects as well.
Dudes are going to kill me for this, bro.
I love Cudi.
Cudi doesn't do anything for me. I like him. I like his music, and I have a much deeper respect for Cudi than I've ever liked his actual music. You feel me? I think my favorite Cudi track is Killer Bees with RZA. Oh my God, that shit is dumb. But I'm excited because I know Cudi represents so much to so many people. I know he literally gets people through life at a certain point. And he's one of the first artists that I saw personally do that. You feel me? I remember when Day and Night came out and Man on the Moon to the release. I can't remember how many projects Kid Cudi's actually released, but everyone raised his brand. I know a couple of them pissed people off because they weren't as good as they were supposed to be. But he's a generational talent. And I saw him battling a couple mental health issues, some real life problems. So it's good to see him with his foot on the gas, because he's actually had a pretty good comeback year or 2, if you guys want to call it that.
Yeah. I was gonna say, anybody who says that maybe Kid Cudi isn't for them and all that, I was gonna ask, have you ever lived your life to Cudi? That's the difference.
Live my life.
If you live your life to Cudi and you just listen to that,
my life. You feel me? Like,
he has a song called Soundtrack to My Life too. That's the crazy part.
I'm just like, you feel me? Like, I listen to Cudi and I get, like, the creativity and the uniqueness that sometimes Travis Scott's music seems to have between the production and the sonic quality what he's doing. I think Cudi is that with a lot more lyrical content and less like bare bone effect on his voice. I get more emotion from Cudi, significantly more, but it doesn't do too much for me. Some of my best friends, my boy Aaron Malcolm, Cudi was one of his favorite artists at one point, and he really tried to put me onto him. And I don't dislike Cudi. I can't name a Cudi song that I don't like. He doesn't hit me the same as I see him.
Right. And see, me and Sheridan would be able to tell you. Travis himself would say, "Cudi is
that's his inspiration.
Biggest inspiration."
Yeah, that's his inspiration.
That's I guess what my point was.
Yeah,
like,
no, it is. No, that is a very good point. I totally agree with what you said basically about that. I think what did Travis said? Like, it was basically like a dream for him to get Cudi on Through the Late Night, which was basically like a remix of Day and Night, kind of.
Great.
But for me, like, Cudi is like exactly who does like connect with me in my life, and a lot of people, I argue with a lot of people about this because I love all his early albums. With Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying is actually my favorite album. It's like it also just came out in a time where that shit really fucking connected with me, and it is one of those things that like helped me get through life. But I totally do understand why it wouldn't be that for Anthony. Like it's just different. It's for different people. Like
that song with 3 Stacks is different, bro. Andre 3000.
Yeah, bro. Both of them are crazy, bro.
Cudi's got some greatness. Cudi's got a lot of greatness, and I hope nothing I said undermines that in any way, shape, or form.
Nah, you weren't hating like Sheridan yet.
You gave him his flowers for sure. I totally get why you wouldn't like.
No, for me, as like I'm a big diehard Cudi fan. Cudi is probably one of the first artists that really did connect with me way back in the day with the first Man on the Moon project and some of his early mixtapes. Even I was on Dat Piff getting all of his early stuff, finding as much Kid Cudi as I could find at an early age and just bumping all of it because it all connected at a time where I was going through some shit, and it's always been an up and down relationship since then for me and Cudi, because I've been one of those fans who didn't love all of those projects. I did like one of the ones. I think it might be the one Sheridan mentioned, Passion, Pain, and Demon Slaying, but the biggest reason I'm excited is this is Man on the Moon 3, so I assume it's not going to be as experimental. We're kind of getting back to the roots a little bit, maybe taking some of the experimental stuff that worked throughout the years and applying it to this sound and sort of going back to a sound that fans can expect. Now, that's not a guarantee that's where he's going, but that's my expectation. Man on the Moon 2 was definitely a shift from the first one, but I'm still overall excited.
One.
The one that Sheridan said, the pain through
Passion,
what was
Pain,
the
and
name? Passion, Pain. I've been looking at a bunch of hip-hop posts in these groups that I'm in on Facebook, and because Cudi announced Man on the Moon 3, they've been talking about him recently. That's the album name that I see the most when people talk about their favorites. That's the album that personally connected with people in a way that like sent their affection for Cudi to the next level in a certain
and
way.
That's why you mentioned
he kind of got back to form in a way.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You guys, Anthony, you mentioned it's kind of like a comeback season for Cudi over the last couple years, and it really has been sort of since 2016. But prior to that, people were kind of up in the air with where Cudi was. Yeah, counting him out a little bit.
Kids See Ghost. Kids See Ghost got a 10 out of 10 from Fantano.
Oh man, and you know that's Sheridan's God. So.
As much as people hate the Needle, bro, I love the Needle. Like you can't take his word for just fucking fun.
I usually disagree with him. It's just
I love.
So then, how do you look utilizing him as a source right now?
Because I think he gives in-depth. Right now, I'm not actually using him as a source. That was a meme, but.
He gives objective criticism.
He gives objective criticism that's very like in depth, and it's not like he just listens to a song and is like, this is shit. Like he'll bunch of times and be like, this is how I actually feel about this because of this, this, and this. And I'll be like, wow, you just don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. But at least he actually like listened and like gave it his like
he's
best.
A solid critic, bro.
Yeah, he's objective as he can be.
Yeah.
Sheridan's a big fan. No, but I agree. Fantano is important, and so a lot of those reviewers are and shit like that. But I'm excited for this project. I don't know exactly when it's coming. I think by the end of the year. I didn't get an exact update on that, but that is cool that he has officially announced it. We're getting another solo Cudi album because Kids See Ghosts, like Sheridan mentioned, was critically acclaimed. That was 2018. It's been 4 years since a solo Cudi project. So I'm really excited.
For the Scots too.
Yeah,
Scots, that's about to be crazy. Travis Scott and Kid Cudi on the whole album.
The Scots is I really love that song. I know it got played out. I know some people fucking hate it, but I'm not a huge Travis fan and I'm not a huge Cudi fan. And that song slaps crazy.
It's the way it started, bro. Nigga, the cops outside. Ooh, it's over.
That shit goes dumb. When they put that in Fortnite, son, I felt like I'm having way too much fun.
I honestly only listen to it on Fortnite. Like I don't really listen to I listened to it since then. I'm like, damn, I wish this was how it was on Fortnite, bro.
That's funny.
For real, like that, it was too lit on Fortnite. I can't even bump it anymore. But I was having way too much fun with the 8-year-olds in the chat.
Right.
Like, nigga,
Something else that I'm definitely anticipating. It's dropping this Friday, and now we finally got some time to talk about it. Is Process's project Candids. This is something I've been very excited for a while. Got a preview of it a couple of weeks ago, and have been very excited to talk about it on here. Let's go ahead and talk about it. What do you want to tell people about Candids Process?
Shit, man, put me on the spot. I just feel like this right here is a smorgasbord. This right here is a buffet. I really went into this with just the thought of, damn, if I get an outlet for myself. But with this one, I felt like let's see what these audiences really need, and it's 13 tracks, and I know you don't like long track lists. I try to make it short. I know that people's attention these days, everybody got ADHD. So
nigga said 13 songs. I tried to make it short.
Trying to make it short. Hey man, if I look in my throwaways folder, I got 8 more. So that's saying that would have been 21 tracks of everything.
So when you look in that folder, do you see a deluxe version in the future?
Hell no. The songs that made it for good reason. Okay. I'd say the songs that didn't make it didn't fit the aesthetic of what I was trying to do. There's a couple vibes that felt the same.
That didn't make it.
There's some bangers that didn't make it, and
sometimes
I was trying to do this whole SoundCloud thing and put them out, and then talk me down from the ledge. I'm talking about 8 songs that didn't make it, and if I try to put all that out before the album, it's oversaturated. So I think potentially I'll let this album drop. Maybe I'll throw out some extra stuff in November for people, because basically that's a whole EP I could just give out for the free. Plus, I got a whole other album in the Google Drive, so
they're gonna be asking for it after they hear this one, bro. Once they hear Candids, they're gonna be asking for more. So that's exactly what you want to do. You mentioned it's a buffet. I wanna clarify a little bit. It's like a backpacker buffet. It's like a gourmet buffet. This ain't no cheap buffet. This is some top of the line stuff, bro. And
this ain't no Ponderosa.
Nah, bro.
No Ponderosa, bro.
Whoa. How did Ponderosa just catch him straight like that? How did Ponderosa just...
It's Sheridan. He's too bougie, bro.
I'm just saying, this is like the buffet at Caesar's Palace, bro.
I used to go to Ponderosa, like, it's just like not the nicest buffet. That's all I'm saying.
But it is fair to say
on the salad bar, bro. We gotta go.
The cheese used to be frozen.
So Ponderosa was probably shit, but Ponderosa was a treat in my household, my nigga.
Wait, was there one in Ithaca though?
Fuck no, nigga.
We went to the one in Portland?
Yes.
That shit was ass.
Sheridan's privileges show him.
You shitting on my childhood right now, bro.
Oh my god. He ain't say nothing about
I was going there. Yeah. I was eating that shit when I was a kid. But then once I got to like 12, I was, wait a second.
This shit a little iffy, bro.
Yeah.
This shit a little iffy.
Sheridan got us all the way off the rails with this one. Let's talk about the project a little bit more. It's very interesting this project, because again, you mentioned Buffet, and I keep going back to that point, but it's got still a cohesive sound throughout it all. It does have sounds that can cater to different audiences, but it's not just like one song this way, one song like it's still cohesive throughout, right?
Yeah, and I owe that actually to JJ Wolf. He really sat down with me at the end, and he helped me put these songs together. Originally, I was so on a fuck it basis where I was just going to let them live however they're going to live. I was just going to put it out. But he sat down with me. We listened to the ends of the song, see where things tapered out into another key and shit like that. And we really mapped it out so it was super smooth. And honestly, I've been really sad listening to it on Google Drive because it doesn't just go to the next song. I can't wait until it's out and I can just listen to it flow. Yeah.
Bro, that is one of the only downsides to getting a project early, is that you got to go through and select them individually. So I had to get, when I got this project, I had to get them all lined up in a playlist on iTunes. That way I didn't even have to do that shit because I knew. And it's one of those projects you want to hear from top to bottom because of how well they go together. And it's interesting to hear that you worked with someone else to do that. Like, I think more artists need to do stuff like that prior to releasing their projects. Like, have another artist listen to it. Hey, what should I do here? Does this sound good? What type of things can I change? And then having an open mind to do that as well, not just continuing with your fuck it mentality and being like, you know what, JJ's right. Let me do this the right way.
Because, yeah, it was always, from the beginning, it was kind of fuck it. Just let it out, have people hear it. And even the music that I was making, that's why there's 8 throwaways. At a certain point, I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to keep creating until I have a wealth of music.
Yo,
it doesn't always work out like that.
That's actually, there's nothing truer that has been said on this podcast. Are you in a rush to hear it cohesively track to track, or are you just waiting for it to drop? Because I've been, like you, I've been trying to collect an archive. I've been working on many different projects. And the way that I'm going about trying to figure out track listing, as soon as I get the project, I take it and I put it in my music library on Apple or my iTunes or whatever. And I create the playlist, and that way I can listen to it flow one track to the next, arrange within seconds, and see what different combinations sound like without having to go out and stop, because I know that feeling very well, and it is actually pretty shitty. It's hard to properly gauge without somebody to listen and help you. It is a really troubling situation.
Yeah.
So I'm really weird in that way. Like for me, it's always about, I don't know. I swear, when the songs are done, I don't listen to them all the way through. I listen to maybe the last 10 seconds, and then the first 10 seconds of the next song.
Okay.
And then I go, did that flow? Do these, like, I don't necessarily think everything has to be, I don't know, perfectly set up in that way. I just feel like once you get to a certain point, it's like, do these flow at all? Do these flow at all? Because you could have some really hype shit follow something really soft. And yeah, people are going to react to that just because it's just that kind of duality. Like, oh shit, we just had this softer song and now we boosted the bass and like, you know, the chunks rattling now. But you can have that and still, because with me, I produced the whole thing. So I'm listening those first 10 seconds of these songs, just going, does the instrumentation match? Does this vibe even fit? You know what I mean? And that's why there's 8 throwaways. Like, do these vibes come together at all?
Of course.
You can have good vibes on every song, but if they don't flow together, it's gonna be that moment that takes them out. It suspends their disbelief. They're gonna sit there and be like, oh.
The duality that you're talking about is a really big attribute to great albums. When you can have different vibes flow to one of the next. You'll notice that on mainstream and good local albums. You feel me? It doesn't matter what it is. If the music is great, you'll be able to combine different vibes like effortlessly. They'll blend together. Would you say this is somewhat of a compilation then, as a full album?
No, I would just say this is an album packaged really weird.
Let's get it.
If that's how I can, I think that's probably the best way to phrase it.
Are you? Is that like what you plan to continue to do for albums? Is that like, or is that just how you want to like start it off?
I think as far as my debut goes, give them that smorgasbord. Give them
that's how I felt.
And then
that's what I
maybe
did too.
maybe I listening to the fans, let them give me that little peace of mind and say, okay, well, this worked, this didn't work. I can look at my streaming numbers. I can say this worked, this didn't work. How can I tap into something that works and still keep it me?
Yeah, it's a smart way to go about it, because as an artist you have to find your sound, but it might be hard to know, like, you as an artist are going to like something a lot more than your fan base might anyway. So
It's
by
true.
putting out a project like this, you have an idea of which way to sort of navigate and cater your sound to, as to what your people are listening to more often, and then they will share that to other people as well. It's a smart way to go about it.
I was just gonna say, I've never had an album drop where my personal favorite tracks were the consensus picks amongst the audience. You feel me?
I was about to say the same exact thing. On the last project, Beyond Me, I had a song called Kalo K.
Kalo K.
What's the vibe? So I threw it on there, but that was the quickest one to make, the easiest one to make. I had it done within an hour, and I put it out, and it was crazy because it's like damn near in the middle of the EP. So the first song, obviously, people listen to that one, cool. The one that people kept coming back to was always Kalo K. The one that I put the least effort into, the one I cared about the least, people fuck with that the heaviest. So
Well, and
that's just the way the world turns, bro. I mean, nothing we can do about it once it's out.
Well, and it's fair to say that same type of situation almost happened with Chicken Spot, where we're playing it every week now, and we like it more and more every week. I'm sure you didn't necessarily.
And Pizza's got another song.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
and it just makes sense. People gravitate to the shit that they like, not what you do.
No doubt.
I'm gonna say this, and one time only. Chicken Spot is better than Kid Cudi's discography.
Oh man. Anyways, I got another question for Process. You mentioned you dropped your project Beyond Me last year. How much have you learned in the year in changing and doing stuff different and releasing this project?
Oh man. Well, I would say it's a definite shift because my Pro Tools rig has gotten crazier. There's more effects, there's more sounds, there's more I can really do. I learned a lot from producing other people's albums as well, and just hearing what people had to say about that. Like, I did Slick Fashion's Purple, that whole album. We sat there, engineered it out.
That man just said he produced a Slammy. Or a Sammy. He produced a Sammy.
I did produce a Sammy, bro. He won the Syracuse Grammy. And I put all the skits in there, all this, that, and the third. But then MC Andrew Love, who was helping Slick Fashions out at the time, he had sent that record out to LA to an amazing engineer, producer, masterer. And that guy texted me and said, hey, it's really good. Sounds cohesive. The voice is loud. We're missing a lot of this because he didn't mix him into the beat. And the first thing I did, I got defensive. I was like, nigga, who are you, bro? Who are you? I just spent my whole fucking summer doing this shit. How you gonna tell me? And then, with any criticism, the first shit most people do is get mad. And that's what I did. But then I sat down and I just listened to him. And I'm that much better because of it. Like, I think that's a big problem with artists a lot, is just not being able to take that criticism.
It's being defensive, you know what I mean?
So, yeah.
I get the emotional side of it. You put a lot of time and energy into something, but if you put a lot of time and energy into something, listen to what people have to say so you can make it better. Don't think that it's perfect right now.
And so I'm just taking all the lessons that I can. Taking all the L's, taking all the lessons, taking the W's as they come. And honestly, it's made me better as an artist. It's made everyone who's recorded with me better as an artist. And I'm always one to foster a good thing in an artist. That's why I like working with them. Because, like I said, on More Than Music, when it came down to it, I was recording people 16, 17 hours a day every Saturday in my free time for free. And it all just came down to the fact that I care about the music. I care about the artists. And I just want them to keep making music. I've had some just trash rappers come in. And you can really foster some belief in themselves. Maybe they didn't think they were going as hard as they were. They don't see what you see. That's what I'm into. I like just creation, letting people grow. That's the best part about this music shit, bro.
Hey, yo, at them.
Yeah, as each other. Stop subbing. Stop subbing.
Rappers in the booth.
Bro, stop. He's about to at me. He's about to at me, bro.
Like I said, though. Remember, I said word trash.
Sheridan and that he
word trash.
Yeah, he's helped foster that. That honestly, that's a real interesting thing to hear, bro.
I came in the other day. I was garbage, bro. I was fucking garbage.
Now, though. That's the difference. They kept harboring that. They honed their craft. You know, and that's all that I really care about.
That's why this man is someone that's why you're the man to work with, bro. Just helping artists.
For real. He actually has harbored shit in me. Like he's really brought like out more of a rapper in me. Like he's gotten me to rap a lot more than I like was comfortable doing, and now I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with it. And he definitely helped me with that a lot.
But also be aware, if you're really dirt, I'm gonna tell you.
So
you're
tell
really
him
dirt
right now.
If you're really dirt, I'm gonna tell you. But that's the thing. They already been told.
Yo, son, I've been in the. He said they've already been told. I've been in the studio with Process, and he's not capping. He keeps it real with the people in his own clique, as well as random people that are coming in.
He'll look like this.
You don't have.
It's only because I care.
But you don't.
Look at you like this.
You don't have to be.
I'll hit you with.
You don't have to be trash to have a trash take. You don't have to be trash to have a bad verse or a bad hook. And if he knows that you're a great artist, record it with him, whether he's on the song, whether he's the engineer or whether he produced it, he's going to let you know that's not the one. Redo it. You can do better. And I think everybody needs somebody like that in the booth. One thing, I sit down, I listen to Colorblind. I listen to Blur. I didn't have anybody in the studio with me that was like, nah, redo that. Nah, let's try it this way. Yo, let's do this.
2021, bro. No yes men.
That's what I'm saying. Like the engineer that I've been working with, shout out D Brown.
Shout out D.
And shout out D Brown. And to be honest, I've been working with T Melly over the past couple weeks, and he's amazing. But I'm taking this time for D Brown. Like the sound that you build with somebody who's gonna be brutally honest with you, who help create. He just wants to tailor make whatever you have to take you to the next level sound-wise. That's what I see in you. You feel me? The difference is you've been through the rounds as a rapper. You've been through the rounds as a singer. You've done all these different things. You've made different genres. You've rapped. You've made hip-hop. You've made pop, R&B. You wear so many different hats that at the end of the day, when you're working on a song with you, you have such a vast perspective that I trust yours as much as I trust anybody's. You feel me? And we haven't gotten the chance to work together recently as much as I'd like to at all.
It's gonna happen, bro.
Oh, I know, but I still know how much of a commodity you are to any rapper or singer in the booth, because you'll definitely bring the best out of them.
And in that, how did you utilize that in crafting your project and choosing your two features on the project, one of them being Sheridan? I'm sure he's excited to talk about this part.
I think we touched on it a little bit on More Than Music. I record alone. I like to record alone. And I also just have such a, how do you say this without being like a douchebag? I kind of have this like faith in myself to where like, if it doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. Like it wasn't meant to. And even my ears, I can tend to listen to my own shit and just be like, well, that's not it, bro. That's not it. And the fact that JJ and Sheridan ended up on the album, I wasn't alone. They were here. Like, that's really it. And the fact that Sheridan pesters you like a fucking mosquito until you let him on a track. JJ came in and he just had an idea. You know,
even if you're pestering somebody to let you on the track, you have 8 throwaways. It still got to fit the vibe for the track list for it to make.
Yeah, it's true.
You wasn't gonna put no bullshit on the album, so son must have at least spit a hot fire 16.
Yeah, and I gave Sheridan a really beautiful section of the song to work on.
He gave me the
That's
best
a
part.
fact. That's a fact.
I can swear that it's probably the best part.
No, when he comes in on that shit, bro, that's the one you showed me at your crib, right, Sheridan?
Yeah.
That was different, bro. I was not expecting that. I mean, the beat switch in itself, it was dope. The song is amazing, dog.
And with JJ, it just came down to he had a hook. Because I brought the guitar in, I started playing some guitar, and then I laid down a little bit of bass. There's no snares, there's no kicks, nothing on me and JJ's song. It's just a little percussion in the background. And the only reason that happened, I think that was something that JJ wanted for himself. And then I had 2 verses written before he could finish writing his chorus. So he kind of I kind of had to steal the song from him, truth be told. But I got a question. What's up?
I know you have great freestyle capabilities. How much, if any, of this album was freestyled? And how much of an emphasis do you put on writing for finished projects like this and your projects in the past? Like, are you comfortable freestyling for an actual project, or do you try to put an emphasis on cohesion so you write it out?
Okay. Yeah. There are 2 freestyle sections, but there may be like 2 bars each.
On the whole album?
On the whole album.
I got you.
The first song, the very last part, and the last song, the very ending of my verse was freestyle. That's it. And
that's just something that
when it comes to stuff like the 136 project, like that's just me and my brothers, like you're feeling something out. And yeah, there's a lot of freestyle process moments on the 136. I'm not sure if y'all be able to tell, but yeah, there's a lot of shit that I don't remember. I'll listen to the 136 album and I'll go, oh, okay. I don't know any of these bars, but cool.
Yo, so I got a
fire.
question. I want you to keep it real. You said Sheridan was pestering you. Did you let him record that thinking, all right, I'm going to record this, I'm going to throw it away, and then I'm going to release my project the way I wanted to? Or just to get him to shut up? Or once he recorded it, you were like, oh, shit.
As soon as he recorded it, I saw the magic in it.
Yep.
I saw that he had something to offer. Plus,
it wasn't
he had listened to the song so many times. It was just playing and playing and playing and playing. I had it on loop. And then this whole time, bro is in the back room smoking. I don't even know that he wants to be on a song. He's already writing.
He was like,
so when he came up to me, he was like, yo, bro, I'm done. Let's go. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I got a verse. Let's do it.
You know what's hilarious about that? Busta Rhymes is known for that. He's known for being in studio sessions with people playing music, and he sneaks off and writes a verse and comes back like, yo, let me hop on this.
Bro, every time Process plays a beat, unless it's just really not for me, I start writing.
But yo,
every time.
I will say this. When Sheridan showed me the track, I was interested. And granted, this is almost a testament to your versatility too, Sheridan. When I heard the beat and when I heard how you were flowing on it, Ryan, I did not hear Sheridan on it. I was like, there's a bunch of different artists in this area that I see on a track like that before Sheridan. And I think that's going to add to the surprise factor of how well you executed your shit. You feel me? That you just added another tool to your belt. If that makes sense. And I also think it's dope that you was on King's project, now on Processes, and I'm sure you're going to end up on a Corey project down the line if it hasn't happened already.
Facts.
Like, that's dope. I think it's cohesive and it works as a unit.
And
and I gave word on More Than Music, bro. Corey loved this Process project.
Yeah. I didn't know. I've known about that for a little bit. but I didn't know y'all went in and spoke about it and announced it.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, man.
And so with these features and stuff, they both sound great. Like that is one thing I have to say. And in promoting this project, like they don't take anything away from it, and they add to it and make it such a great project. Like the whole project from top to bottom is one of my favorite projects I've heard this year. And I think you did a really great job with that in making sure that the features fit what you had going with the project. Like it's a very, very dope thing you've got going here.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. All the love too, because you know there are always those moments as an artist of like self-doubt. You know, you're looking at the track list, you're listening to the music, you're going, I don't know. But like just from like Anthony, you had a post the other day, and it was something about don't let the whole world know you're going through this and you're going through that. Like, let them know maybe you're taking a break to concentrate, but don't say, like, oh, I almost quit. I almost did this.
If you say almost quit, that's not bad. Like, I guess, but I'm saying don't take your credibility away by telling people that you gave up on yourself, because you can't be mad if people give up on you.
Exactly. And there are those moments that every artist goes through where you're just like, why is shit not clicking?
Yeah.
If it clicks for me, but then you know it clicks for you for 1 second, and then you start listening to the music all over again. You're like, what's going on? And I think maybe that's why I approached this album in the way I did. That original fuck it nature. I was just like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it really just, I swear to God, it took like all the 136 to even get me to like push through this kind of thing. And that's why I was more than excited to have at least JJ on the project. Trust me, bro, there are a lot of those beats where somebody from 136 was in this room, because I'm in the studio right now, was in this room and was like, yo, bro, let me get on this one. This shit's crazy. I heard a verse you're writing. Oh, my God. But
it's hard to dub your boy.
It's hard to dub him. It's hard
to dub your boy.
But when you do, and they finally hear that product, they go, oh shit, I get it. I get it now.
If you got a good friend, some niggas still be like, nah, boy, you should let me hop on this. This shit trash.
Yeah, you got some brothers drinking the Haterade.
Exactly.
Yeah. I cut all them niggas out my circle though. That's why 136 is the way it is, man. We try to keep it lit. That's why you guys are basically family friends at this point. Like,
it's Upstate. Upstate is becoming a big family, and it's growing more and more, and it's dope to see like that relationship with Dim. And I agree, bro. It's like a big extended family at this point, and that's why it's always great to see everybody winning. I expect to see you winning this Friday when Candids drops. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. Everybody, make sure you pre-save it if you haven't. If you have, make sure you tune in, because it is honestly one of the best projects I've listened to this year from top to bottom. It's so good that I have it, and I haven't listened to much of it since the first listen, because I want to save those streams for Process. It is.
I gotta see the pre-save shit. Damn.
I want to take a second to just shout out Miss Sicko 7 on the event that she put together the other day, because a couple people have came to me and told me that they didn't come to me. I asked a few people and artists who attended, and one thing that I wanted to know was, were there any performers that impressed you, that you may have known before or didn't know about, that you saw perform and you enjoyed their music more than you expected? And everybody told me you, Corey, and Dim 136. They said that you guys were like the surprise factor to the people who may not have known about you before, and they really enjoyed your set. So I wasn't there to see it. I just wanted to shout out Miss Sicko 7 for the event and give you guys. Were there any people that you were surprised by performing?
Damn, the first dude that went up, his name is escaping me. I'll be back in the comments.
Was it AOHB?
No, I don't think it was AOHB. I forget his name. Man was in an all-white suit. He was going crazy. Or no, I think he was wearing like a gray suit. I think eventually a guy in a white suit came up, but him, T Melly, that was very interesting because I had never listened to any T Melly. Of course, with all that you with all that you guys talk about, I figured he'd be a force, but when he got on stage, it was really...
Melly on a track together would be fucking dumb, bro.
It was really beautiful. Yeah, I went up and introduced myself to T Melly, Shaw Rax, all them. Especially Shaw, because we grew up in the same city.
Yeah.
But it was really surprising to hear them. And I'm going to be honest, y'all. I wanted to go home. My performance was done. So I didn't hear everybody, and apologies for that, everyone who's at the event. I should have stayed and listened, but Corey did. And if Corey, I'll ask Corey about it because Corey always stays after the event. He's a networking fiend.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, I'm not going to lie. It's your birthday. I'm not going to let you slide. I'm going to tell you a little bit. You should have been there, bro. You should have stuck around. I know it's a little difficult, but as an artist, like, it's one of them things, bro. You got to be there from as much as you can be. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to, like, come down on you or nothing. I think in general this could be a good moment. This could be a good moment of learning for everyone. I really do think that, like, to be there and support and network and shit, it is important, especially when you got a project coming, bro. So that's all I'm saying.
To add on to that point, it's beneficial for yourself just as an artist from a networking standpoint. But let me tell you, I've performed in damn near every city in upstate New York, son. And some of these venues, some of these promoters won't even book you again if you leave right after your performance, unless you're the headliner, unless you're bringing in a large fucking crowd, because that for some reason they find that it's disrespectful. I'm sure Anna didn't, or this wasn't one of those times. And this isn't just for you, this is any artist listening. When you are at your concert, if you go on early in the night, get your networking in. Make sure to watch other artists, but not just for yourself. Think about it. Like you might not get that opportunity again. It might shoot yourself in the foot.
Facts.
All right. Yeah. I can see it from that. I can see it from that perspective too.
And I
think what it really came down to was I was like, man, I gotta go home. Like,
bro, and I feel you. Some days are just like that. Like I'm there. Don't
perform in a mask.
That's a fact, bro. I have never performed at all, so that's why I don't want to sound like a dickhead at all. It's just I get it. It's a long day. It's just one of them things. You know what I mean? And that was a long ass show. That was a long show, so I can't even front. So
that's not at you. That's just some game that I picked up through the roads. Yeah. I know niggas that left 3 hours before his show ended and ain't get that call back the second time.
Word. But the important part, like I said, Candids dropping this Friday. Everyone make sure you pre-save that. This is, again, going to be one of the best projects that drops out of Upstate this year. So you don't want to be the one caught sleeping on it. You want to be the one ahead, sharing it to everybody, letting all your friends know so they could be like, how'd you know about Process? And you could tell them the Cypher put you on. But now we're going to play some tracks. Process is being stingy and holding off on all of that Candids. He's not previewing nothing for y'all today.
Yeah, that album needs to be a real surprise. Listen, I got y'all with something else, though.
Yes, sir.
I got y'all.
Let him know what we got.
So this track is called The Move. This is 136. Listen, and I know PS is going to be watching this. I don't think you're on this one, bro. I'm so sorry. Listen, we gotta.
Yo, that is gonna be.
We'll keep you like a spade in our pocket, bro. Once the whole 136 project drops, they gonna hear you, bro.
Hold on, Kels better never say he gonna keep you like a spade.
Let's get it.
Bro.
I'm tagging him.
Let's get it. Let's play this. I'll love the PS though.
You know.
Bring that straight to the booth. When you got nothing, what's it lose? 136 a click, all we got is shit to prove. Big Process with the crew, and we all made it out the room. 136 on the move, and we make all the bitches swoon. Told her quit that racket, told her bring my racks in, yeah. Quit that racket, baby, bring my racks in, yeah. All my niggas bout to pop now. None of these niggas got their own sound. 136 run the whole town. click, all we got is shit to prove. Homies yelling now, we can't lose. Different type of drip if them baddies in the pool. Yell a bunch of clowns, it's too funny how you move. Fix up your site, got that broke person view. Yeah, I've been capping, lot of that talk, no action, man. Stuck, no traction. If you hate, put down your hand. Yeah, I've been capping, lot of that talk, no action, man. Stuck, no traction. If you hate, put down your hand.
I've been too busy on the move. If I ain't in the trap, I'm in the stew. Niggas say they getting money, where the proof? I think you niggas funny, tell the truth. You want no static, you can have it. I got that automatic, pistol packing. Don't let me catch you lacking, up in traffic. Blackbird when I shoot, hit the line like what's the move?
Homie, bang my line, what's the move? Vibe is homicide, bring that straight to the booth. When you got nothing, what's to lose? 136 a click, all we got is shit to prove.
Big 136 shit, nigga.
Banger, bro.
Corey,
that shit goes
Corey
crazy.
Loveless with the tune. Corey with the tune.
Yeah, Corey was stupid.
That's a fact. I was gonna say
stupid.
it's interesting to hear him in that sound, especially because of just the tracks we've gotten from him over the last couple months. To hear him sort of shift his sound up and do something different, that's very interesting. I like that.
I'm telling you, the 136 shit is weird, bro. Everybody's coming out of the weirdest pockets.
It's a smart spot to do
happening.
it. You know, if you're gonna try different shit, why not do it with the guys and see what works and what doesn't? And that's a really smart thing.
Right.
Do you guys have an idea on when that project is coming? Maybe the end of the year, maybe the top of next year.
Shit, man. We can just figure out some cover art. I'll drop that shit next month.
Got you.
But,
I got you.
I gotta talk to everybody. You know how it is. We got 5 people. I gotta line it up with everybody before I can even try to drop something. So we'll figure it out.
I got your cover art set up though, so all you gotta do is get those 5 people, and we'll get that project rocking, bro.
Corey's gonna be like, I gotta redo a verse. Nah, dude, I gotta
I'm
redo
not
that
gonna
verse.
lie. That is Corey and PS, bro. I gotta redo it. I gotta redo that one.
How Corey gonna how PS gonna redo a verse where he don't even got first?
Yo, all right, bro. Nah, you'll hear the first track. We give y'all a taste of the original 136 members, me, Corey, and PS. So that first track, the first one you hear, you're definitely gonna have PS. All right. I need y'all to know. And PS had the same issue. There was some songs on there that didn't have him, and he came in the studio pissed. He said, "Where's my verse?"
He ain't hide it. That nigga was posting on Facebook about it. Like, yo, fuck
now,
y'all.
mind you, all of those songs that he wasn't on, he's on now, so he can't even be bad.
That's what's up. I'm looking forward to that project. Definitely looking forward to it. The next track we have lined up is actually Sheridan's track, but I think he's getting a little busy. So you need me to set it up for you, or are you good, bro? I can't even.
Muted as hell, boy.
A classic blunder.
Lex, untied. Let's go.
What a setup.
Lex, untied.
We'll talk about it after. Shaking my head.
Replace the pain with and see what I never knew. When I was untied, you looked at her, and in your mind, she was always first. When I tried so hard to be whatever your name, you chose her again over me. And I guess goodbye wasn't enough for you. Tell me all the things I know that you want to. You're sorry. You're sorry. You're sorry. When I asked too much loyalty, drew the line. So you left me untied. When I asked too much loyalty, drew the line. So you left me. So you left me untied.
And that's Untied from Lex. I really, really like that song. Do you guys know who produced that? I don't know.
Big Process.
I was
Big
gonna say-
Process in the
Yeah.
room on the
Was it not
production.
Top?
Mix, production. Lex is only 15. Corey's
True. Yeah,
little
that's
sister.
Corey Lovelace's
Corey's
sister.
little sister, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's not necessarily what we always play up here, but we had to give that some love because
That is a
the
slapper.
quality of that and just everything Sheridan just said on top of it. It's a great track. It's one that every time I hear it, I like it a little bit more. I think Process did a great job, but I think that she did a great job as well. Shout out to Lex for that one.
She fucking killed
That's
that.
a fact.
Man.
For a 15-year-old, like, she's gonna be the coolest kid in school at this point. Like, that's just the beginning.
It was a
That's the
Word.
first track, right, that she's released like that.
yeah.
Yeah, we have more done, but yeah, she chose that one, and I could see why. It's so beautiful.
It's the first track she
Great
dropped
song.
in any capacity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard another one
She went
too.
distribution route. First
She's
song,
so
she
good.
said no SoundCloud. She said this is going on Apple Music, Spotify.
My biggest takeaway from this is just how mature of a performance it was. You feel me? There's nothing about this that screams 15-year-old. There is nothing about this that screams first release. There is nothing about this that screams amateur at all. This was a professional seasoned song. You feel me? It
The
takes
only part that y'all didn't know is every time she would listen to a song, she go.
But Ben was saying, yo, I went live last night and I previewed a bunch of music. And one thing that I wanted to highlight in between tracks, I was talking to people. I don't know what the fuck they're putting in the water these days, but these 15,
kids is
16,
talented.
17, I don't know. When I was
Baby's got talent, bro.
not like this, bro. I was happy because I could put some words together, and there was a couple kids that could freestyle, a couple women that could sing on the stage in like a play setting. But there was nobody making music like this, like Saint Kid, like Rowan, like Don.
Nah, I was doing rap battles on the basketball court.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
I was making beats on my
Bro,
iPhone, bro.
It is crazy to see the younger generation carrying what the people and what we've been fortunate enough to carry on. We haven't even passed the torch yet, and these niggas are fucking like she could blow up today based off if she could produce that sound consistently for a whole album for multiple years to come, she could blow up today at 15 years old. You feel me?
Word.
One thing.
Well, it's something we talked about in our group chat, and I think is that she also has the fortunate situation of Corey being her brother. Corey has been through the music industry for the last couple of years, dealing with getting distributing your music, putting it on the right platforms, working with the right people, having someone like Process right there. Like, in general, 15-year-olds don't have a process that they can work with, and a brother who has the right information to help navigate them. So she's really in a perfect situation to literally blow up at like any point, really. Like, this track is one that you could easily see taking someone to the next level, and she's 15. Like, it is so insane.
Yeah, it takes people years to come up with a song that sounds this professional and mature. I had a question though, and hopefully one of y'all know the answer. Did she write this?
Yeah,
she'll only write. So
Lex just has a giant notebook filled with lyrics. And that's the thing. I had to build the beat around her song. So she's already got a tune for
that's ahead of her time, because that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, that's what I was telling y'all in the messenger. I was like, bro, she just writes these songs and she just has them in her head, bro. Like, it's not.
And I just sat here. Shout out to Corey's girl, actually, and she knows how to play all these instruments, and I'm kind of dirt. She came in here, she had her sing, she played all the chords out, and then I just built the beat. Like, it was that simple. Really a beautiful thing. How quickly it happened too. I would say that song. It depends on who I'm working with, but there are songs that can take me 30 minutes, and there are songs that take me 5 hours, and that one took some time.
I'm sure.
And it was just. I had to show.
Like it's almost like I don't want to say a sad song, but how stretched out and slow it feels. It gets a little bit eerie, but because of the vocals and the performance that she had, it's like bright, almost like I see colors listening to that shit. And it's not my type of music that I typically listen to.
You could have a crazy music video to that.
What? Oh, yeah. Are you shitting me? I mean, I don't know. I've heard that a couple times.
I played on repeat, bro. That shit is a slapper. That shit goes crazy.
I'm about to be working with bad 15-year-olds. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Like
that's how they feel with me working with all of you guys. Shit.
Your age, nigga.
So that is a real dope track. I'm excited to see where Lex goes. It's not every time that you hear someone for the first time and are already like, all right, let me hear a full project of what you're putting together. But she's 15. It's going to take some time for that. But this is, I'm excited. I don't see anything but an upward trajectory for what she's doing. And for 15, like, that's insane. So the next track we have lined up, Ant, you've got one for us, right?
I can't remember the name of the track, but it's by Deshaun.
You just can't say Kaoken or Kyoken. Sheridan, what is it?
This shit is crazy. I don't know how to say it.
You're an anime nerd. I figured you would know, bro.
I don't like Dragon Ball Z.
Alright, whatever.
It's Kaoken, bro.
Oh my god, yo,
let's get it.
Just throw the whole nigga away, bro. So this is D Hughes. I don't have the letters even in front of me. I don't remember what it was at all, but it was a fire track. He dropped this last night right before I went live, and I was impressed because this is the Deshaun that I used to see at Cypher night that can go 2 hours of straight bars. So I just wanted to show some love to him.
Let's get it.
Now I'll show you the Kaioken! I pulled it off. And what exactly does this technique do? Here it comes!
I've been toughened up by what you don't see. Suddenly they want a piece of me. Nigga, bite down, just enjoy the grease. You can't fight now, this is dirty meat. Give a fuck if you heard of me. If you really doubt it, you gon' hear it now. Fuck the world and I ain't pulling out. If it need a break, then it better breathe. Don't switch up, don't act different. Fake smiles just confirm suspicions. Giving praises when my shit is good, but when I'm hella down, they just end up missing. Family too, there ain't a fucking difference. Fuel my hate with all the contradiction. All the shit I had to contemplate when the fame was hurting. Matriarch was distant, had to fight for love like it's a competition. Fuck the love, now I'm in love with distance. Let the pain fuel me like a new prescription. Overdose to write down my visions. I'ma overload them like a bad modem. Let the blood run just to feed the fishes. Entertaining was not fiction. While you nod at me, let the blind listen. When the rage hits, better run away. You ain't ready for what I wanna say. Let it all out like a tidal wave. Let the shots out, then drive away. I ain't never turning back, no U-turn. New pack with the devil, let the demon speak first. Put me back on the back of a back burner. Let my soul get a rest till the facts turn up like, no euphemism, nigga, you was different. I don't do the faking or the booty clenching. Let the Uber drive me to a new dimension. I'm a new Da Vinci. Cold. Spent too much time in the cold, let the ice preserve it. I don't need no pity when the time gets shitty. Don't act like you really deserve me. This is as real as it gets. It's like the pack that you flip. Don't fuck what you give, I'ma get more. Money on top of the bin, so no rent. So all of the talking they give been a fallacy. Made the mistakes of a state of neutrality. Palaces on top of palaces. Drink out of chalices. This is new balances. Nigga, I'm ill. Doubt that. If you really want, nigga, buck back. Really want beef, put you in a lunch wrap. Roll you in the Dutch rap, light it up and puff back. Light work what I inhale. Listen close to these details. Mimic me, you get derailed. K.O.K. we don't sink well. Always made them take advantage. New day, I'm on a different planet. Talk my shit, it's like I'm speaking Spanish. Trying to build a wall so I don't do them damage. You ain't ready for what I'm saying, great. Every battle like a saying race. Eating rappers need another plate. Can't keep the pace, it's like they running a place. Yes, I am nigga, more liquor, big tempers, fast spitter. Man flows way better than your average nigga. And I say, Bill, keep the heat on. They want bars, so I let off. Ducking these shots, let the lead off. Better notice me, you're dead wrong. This what y'all wanted, right? Y'all wanted me to go off, dude. Here on out. Don't expect anything less.
That nigga Process face saved it all, son. God
damn. That shit is insane.
That was K.O.K.
I already hit up D-Hughes, bro.
K.O.K. K.O.K. I think.
I don't.
K.O.K. bro.
Yeah.
K.O.K.
That was a real dope track. I am not super familiar with D-Hughes. I'm becoming more familiar with him after the competition episode.
Hey,
this track, this after this one and that one, I will officially have to check for all D-Hughes tracks that drop. Like that was fucking incredible.
I'm
Deshaun, if you're watching right now, you didn't just K.O.K. bro. That was a spirit bomb.
Oh,
crazy.
Spirit.
That was a spirit bomb.
Yo, son,
crazy.
I heard that shit last. I told Deshaun, like, yo, bro, the music that you're dropping is incredible. You're very creative. You know, like, there's not a lot of people who make music like you out here. You feel me? But what I saw at Cypher night, month after month, me and him, sometimes nobody would show up. It would be me and Deshaun rapping for 2 hours straight, passing a microphone back and forth. All free off the top. And like no gas or nothing. Like there's just not that many people that I've performed with in a live setting that even want to go back and forth like that. And when it's just me and them, or even 2 hours at that. Sometimes I just took a break and Deshaun went for 10 minutes straight. Like I've never seen anything like that in my life, bro. And the music that he's put out hasn't reflected what I saw at Cypher night too much. And it's better or worse. I just thought that if he dove into a sound like that and expanded on that type of rap, it might go somewhere. And this track is easily my favorite D-Hughes track I've ever heard. I think he had a chip on his shoulder.
Me too.
I think he had something to prove. And this would have easily made my top 20 if he submitted this into the competition. Like this might have made top 10, top 15. Like this was a real solid track. And normally when tracks go longer, it starts to take a little dive for the worst.
When he switched that flow,
he switched time. He switched the flow every 8 bars, and I don't know. It was so captivating to me.
Crazy.
I can't take my hat off enough for him on that one. Whew.
Yeah, that was a real impressive track. What do you think, Sheridan?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I said pretty much. I love that shit. That shit went crazy. It's my favorite D-Hughes track. I think he has potential in both lanes. I think if he does stuff in the lane that he's been dropping like originally, he needs to just get better mixes. This mix sounded fine for this.
That was something I was gonna say. This sounded a little bit more professional.
Like this sounded, yeah, and I think part of it is just he's rapping. Like you don't have to do as much. Exactly. Yeah, like when you're singing like he was in his original tracks, there's a lot of stuff you got to do to vocals like that. That he just wasn't or doesn't know. But with the rapping, bro, he has it down and it sounds great. Like
yo, D-Hughes, I got you for the free, bro. You want to start singing? Come to the 136 Studios. I got you, bro.
Yo,
that's love.
Statement, bro. That's a big statement. D-Hughes, I'll tell you right now. If you lock in with one session with Process, your life will be changed. You're
gonna make some crazy shit, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the first things I thought of in listening to that track. Yeah. Was like if he got in with Process,
I hope he would say that.
So,
but bro, he has access to a great studio. I know his boy Caleb be working. I think he has a home setup and he does a lot of it at his crib. Which at the end of the day, unless you're very seasoned and know what you're doing, it will take away from the quality. That's why personally I don't release music from my home studio yet, because I have to learn. But I know Deshaun has access to good studios. I'm not sure where he recorded this specific track. I will tell you, if you lock in with Process for a day, you will notice some things about your sound and that you might not have untapped before.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This next track I have lined up is I was gonna play the Saint Kid track actually that we talked about earlier, but I wanted to start focusing more on some of the female artists in the area, and Lorena dropped a track with Meech Booker that I really wanted to focus on and play for everyone. So we're gonna play that because, like I said, the women in the area are really producing quality music. I think I'm just overlooking
one of the queens out here.
So let's go ahead and play this. This is a good one.
Let's get it.
I ain't never think that I would be alone. Why you wanna fuss and fight when I be in my zone? I roll around and get to it. I heard them bitches been true, so she could do bad all by herself. And sometimes it feel like Novocaine. And I've been feeling lost, but you don't know these things. Sometimes I be wishing that I never told you. And this bottle ain't even big enough to hold my pain. I could show you things.
Give you my heart and my soul. We're shotgun on this road. All I asked was for loyalty. You still left me exposed. 0 to 100 as I'm going through your phone. Ask you about all these hoes and all you say is I don't know. What's really up with you? See, this is why I can't fuck with you. Gave you every opportunity, still won't mess up with you. Used to be one, but now I'm chucking up the deuce. Already gave you my all, so I ain't got that much to lose. I stayed around cause I loved you, but now them feelings over. Put my boots on, get my troop on, cause I am a soldier. Don't know why I let you play me like I'm a controller. You only good for head and you're digging mediocre.
I ain't never think that I would be alone. Why you wanna fuss and fight when I be in my zone? I roll around and get to it. I heard them bitches been choosing, so she could do bad all by herself. And sometimes it feel like Novocaine. And I've been feeling lost, but you don't know these things. Sometimes I be wishing that I never told you things. And this bottle ain't even big enough to hold my pain. I could show you things.
I say I'm done, so I'm done. Ain't no turning back. We started off a tag team. Now I'm a solo act. I could've beat that bitch's ass, and you know it, that's whole facts. But just like the usual, you always hold me back. Had to do you like my ex. When he tried to flex, I beady bomb him on the ass exchange. AMX. Fucking with a real one. J-Lo Bobby in the flesh. Had to flex. Tyler Kylie, runner up, be Travis. Yes, don't try to come back. Baby, better hang that check. Tend to be bad and bougie. Don't they try to counteract. You left me really broken. I gave you my devotion. Fuck a sorry, baby. You a free man, no more again.
I ain't never think that I would be alone. Why you wanna fuss and fight when I be in my zone? I roll around and get to it. I heard them bitches been choosing, so she could do bad all by herself. And sometimes it feel like Novocaine. And I've been feeling lost, but you don't know these things. Sometimes I be wishing that I never told you things. And this bottle ain't even big enough to hold my pain. I could show you things.
That's La Reina featuring Meech Booker, Hold My Pain. I think that's just currently out on YouTube as a video. The official track isn't out on streaming services, but I really like that track because I think it's a good feature for both of them. Like, I think it's a good job at sort of crossing over fan bases that might not necessarily, like Lorena's fans might not listen to Meech's fans and vice versa. So I think that it's a dope move right there. And it was one thing.
Can I ask you guys
go ahead.
a question about that though?
What's up?
Anthony, Sheridan, we make music. You know what's up. Could you tell that there was a difference between the mixing? Between Meech's voice and Lorena's voice?
Yes.
That was a great song. Let me start with that. It was a great song. I just feel like you can tell some iffies going on. And I think that brings you out of it. Because Meech's part was beautifully done. You can tell that Chai's had his hands on it. Shout out to Chai's first, because that man is crazy. But when it got to Lorena's part, you know, it took me out of the experience. And I feel like that's, if she didn't go to Chai's maybe, or somebody else.
I think she
as
did.
an engineer. if she went to Chai's, and remember, all respect to Chai's, but that's something that I would have taken some time with, just matching the mixes, because that really threw me off. Good song, but bad mixing. It always gets into that area where you're like, damn, this shit could have been crazy.
That's true.
That's just my piece on this.
Nah, I honestly agree. I was gonna say the same thing. I thought that I liked Lorena's part. I just wish that it was mixed better.
Maybe if it was more cohesive in the beat too, because I would say that Meech's shit just fit. It fit.
Yeah, and I really honestly when Meech came in the second time was my favorite part actually. Like when he first came in, I was like, okay, this is cool. But when he came in the second time, I was like, damn, this actually kind of rocks. And Lorena's part again, it had a lot of potential. She did her thing. It was on a mixing end.
I hear that, and I guess I don't disagree with what y'all saying. I didn't have too much of a problem with the mixing per se. I think Meech is a walking hit. You put him on any chorus, it's gonna be a banger. You feel me? And props to what Andrew said, because I completely agree. A feature between Lorena and Meech was bound to happen, and I think it's a very good thing for the 607. The females in this area, sometimes I guess we don't highlight them as
rap queens, bro.
If we don't, we need to start. Miss 607 is somebody that we frequent up here. I think that Lorena it's hard to write a whole track and stay on topic through the whole time. She really wrote 2 verses to me that really pertain to the subject matter. To me, that added to the element of the track. And I would have liked to see some, I guess, variation in her verses. Like they were a little bit bare bone compared to Meech's. I completely agree. I do think, to my knowledge, I don't know this for a fact, I'm sure that Chai's mixed all of this. You feel me? And not just Lorena's part. But I'm glad that we played this, though. I've bumped this a couple times throughout the past. Throughout the past week. If you guys haven't gotten a chance, check out the video. It's another really cool.
Dude, Zakai did a great job on that. Shout out to Zakai, because when I was watching the video towards the end, I had to look to see who had shot that, and when I saw it was Zakai, I was very excited about that. Like I was like, he continues to do better and better, and that's awesome. So
exactly, he's gonna continue to improve. That man's hunger and ambition is next level. And Meech always has conceptual, great videos. They're very creative and cohesive. Lorena also is one that I know that she has a budget and can make anything happen in terms of a video. So and it adds. This is the first time I've listened to the song without watching the video to accompany it, and it was different. It was a little bit different. I think watching the video with it adds and gives it that extra element.
I agree, and that's just more of a testament why videos are so important. Some artists, I think, overlook that part, but sometimes it can emphasize the track. Sometimes dropping a track as a visual first can help the track entirely. So,
for sure, shout out them.
Word to Cartel. Word to Cartel.
That's a fact. We have basically covered all our topics. We've played all the tracks. I want to remind everybody, make sure you check out Candids. It drops this Friday. Process, you want to know where they can find you on social medias, everything else?
I'm at Process136 on damn near everything. Facebook, I'm Ryan. Ryan Pierce, straight up government. But everything else, you're looking at Process136.
Bet. And Ant and Sheridan, y'all got anything special going on this week people need to keep an eye out for, or just the same old?
Not particularly this week. I just uploaded Cartel to drop November 6th. So shout out to you guys, because I had a goal to hit 5K before the month was over. And it's been 3 weeks and we're about to hit 7K either tomorrow or the next day. So that this is a gift, November 6th, for you guys who supported. I'm going to put the pre-saves in my bio. And if Cartel hits 10K sooner than I expect, I'm definitely going to give you guys a treat. A new video come, waiting for Zakai to send it over. I'll update you guys with release for that. And that's going to be the debut video for the next project that I'm dropping. Because I've had a project, Red Guys, for a long time. I've just been waiting. If Cartel gets to 10K, the single that I'm dropping for you guys will not be project related. It'll just be a single. But get it to 10K and I'll show you guys something that I've never showed anybody.
Looking forward to that. How about you, Sheridan?
Right now I'm just cooking and stirring. I got some stuff on the burner. I got some stuff I'm stirring up. I got some stuff that's maybe drying out. It's all coming together. It's all coming together. That's all I'm gonna say. It's all coming together. I don't know how much more I'm gonna drop before the end of the year, but 2021 is gonna be crazy. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm excited, Sheridan. I know you've been working, and we ain't even talk about the music that me and you got in the floor. You feel me? We got what to do with that. But Ryan, one question that I can't believe we didn't ask the whole fucking 2 hours we've been on here. Do you have any videos shot for your project, and do you have plans to shoot any videos for your project?
I have plans to shoot videos for sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna let the music hit them, and then I'm gonna let the visuals go.
All right.
Okay. The bangers that I heard, and I haven't heard all 13 tracks, but you would be doing yourself a disservice
if I didn't shoot
to this. No.
Sheridan's looking at the camera like
yep.
Human video.
He heard you finally say you were gonna do a video, and he was like, "All right, bet. I know exactly what we're gonna do."
I'm telling you, out of the 13, that's a contender, Sheridan.
I've been planning this video since the second I laid the verse.
Yeah, bad news about the script.
I already contacted somebody who's gonna shoot it. I got it, bro.
That's an Upstate Aesthetic website, also available on my college website. Candids dropping this Friday. Want to remind everyone one final time, and then later on this weekend I will have an interview with MBK Richie for More Than Music on Upstate Aesthetic. So been busy working on those, getting all of that in. Let's go ahead and play some Chicken Spot so Ryan can go enjoy the rest of his birthday.
Pulled up to the chicken spot, got a 6-3, one biscuit and a stupid watch. Don't make me put a biscuit out the chicken. Goddamn, man, I could never tell you. I ain't rolling with no fucking tools, but we come and drill you. 2 styrofoam cups up, we gon' come and spill you when the